This is another sign of the times, an analysis, and a commentary. Intense, fast-moving fires have been raging across much of California. The blazes have barreled through communities like freight trains, turning homes to dust in a blink and leaving at least 41 people dead. The largest of the fires are in the state's wine country, north of San Francisco. "We've never seen anything like this," said a person who grew up in California but was not prepared for the ferocity of this year's fire season. Wildfires often break out in California in October after the state's dry, sunny summers. The fires are worse this year because of record heat over the summer and high winds now, which can swiftly turn the smallest fires into fast-moving infernos. Weather experts note that this year's outbreak was a long time in the making. Drought parched California for years, leaving lots of dry vegetation. In the winter of 2016 and the spring of 2017 brought record amounts of rainfall, which spurred new plant growth. That was followed by months of extreme heat that withered the new growth and turned it into more tender. Finally, the autumn winds from the northeast, known as Diablo winds, began blowing through the region over the weekend at speeds of 70 miles an hour or more. All of this is happening in a region where more people are building homes and forests. So, what started all these fires? Officials are not sure. There were 17 major fires burning in the state, and the specific cause of each fire will be investigated. So they say. In general, the vast majority of wildfires are caused by people. The past few months have been so dry that even seemingly innocent human activities, a boat trailer chain dragging on a road, engine heat coming off a vehicle parked in a grassy area, have lit fires. It is possible that similar things may have started some of the current fires. There were no thunderstorms in the region when the fires started, so lightning has been all but ruled out as a cause. In other words, humans could be responsible for the fires. Could it have been downed power lines? State officials are looking into that possibility. There are some reports of sparking power lines and other electrical equipment problems, and poor power line maintenance by the main utility in Northern California. The Pacific Gas and Electric Company has been blamed for some past wildfires. In 2015, a pine tree in the Sierra Nevada mountains came into contact with a 12 kilovolt conductor and burst into flames, leading to a fire that killed 2 people, destroyed 550 homes, and scorched 70,000 acres. The State Public Utilities Commission concluded it fined the utility company $8.3 million in April for failing to properly clear vegetation around the power line. So, what's the role of climate change? Fire seasons in general have grown longer and more destructive in recent decades, something scientists attribute in part to increased dryness caused by warming temperatures. It is less clear, however, whether the season for this kind of wind-driven fire in California has lengthened. Researchers from the University of Idaho and Columbia University published a study last year saying that climate change had caused more than half of the dryness of western forests since 1979. Parched landscapes can increase fire size and duration, said a professor of fire science at the University of California, Berkeley. But it is important to note, he added, that climate change is not necessarily causing specific fires to occur. Wildfires are a natural part of a forest life cycle and have been part of the state's history since long before anyone called it California. So then, how do these fires compare with past California wildfires? Taken together, the current wildfire outbreak is now one of the deadliest of the last century, according to state figures. It has burned more than 200,000 acres and destroyed more than 5,700 homes and businesses. Yes, this is one of the most destructive fires in California's history. Everything is connected and everything is numbered. This too is another sign of the end of times as we know them, transition days, which is a time of extraordinary happenings, events, and changes. It's also about what kind of world are we leaving to the future generations, and that should be a very important question to ask. Again, Revelation chapter 16, verse 8, and the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch humans with fire. 9. And humans were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of God, which has power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory. 10. And the fifth angel poured out his vial upon the seat of the beast, and his kingdom or nation was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. 11. And blasphemed the God of heaven because of their pains and their sores, and repented not of their deeds. 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings and leaders of the east might be prepared. Yes, it's time for prophecy to be fulfilled, and all these are more signs.